Business, British Chamber of Commerce. Wealth creation, let's see. John Longworth, director of the BBC, also highlighted Coburn's infrastructure plan. Firms encouraged by recent statements there. Only an idiot would not want to work on infrastructure as it is. Let me jump back to the business part of this particular setup here, and I guess we have some sections here, and well, we don't. Anyway, we'll go to the markets now, to market data actually, and how they set it up. We'll do the markets while we can, quite literally. Nonetheless, this is a Friday unless otherwise noted. The FTSE was down 38.0 or not 5. In Amsterdam, they were down 5.98. In Frankfurt, also down 86.88. In Paris, 47.81 in the negative. In Brussels, negative 31.41. In Madrid, 121.10 in the negative. There in Zurich, 6.32 in the negative. In Moscow on Friday, they were down 2.31. Excuse me. In Johannesburg, they were also down to 94.82. In Bombay, 109.37 in the negative. In Karachi, 119. Excuse me. 0.65 in the negative. In Lahore, 34.96 in the negative. In Colombo, negative 6.40. And in Tehran on Wednesday, 1044 there, 1044. In Sydney, on Friday, they were down 20.70. The Nikkei was down 35.40. The Hang Seng in Hong Kong was down 58.13. In Shanghai, 2.34. They were in a positive rating there. And the Dow in New York, 102.69. And the Nasdaq at 26.09. And the commodities market out in the Midwest city of Chicago at 8.76. In San Pablo, they were down 103.49. And in Mexico, they were also down on Friday, 107.78. A quick look at commodities. We've been talking about that, so we'll see where they were on Brent crude oil futures, 48.98. That's the futures there. But if we look at, this is from the ICE futures, ICE futures in Europe, Brent crude at 48.9, the spot at 47.70. It was down 80 cents on the crude and up 17 on the spot. West Texas Intermediate crude, $44.75, down 88 cents, are a minus 1.9% there. T-Boom Ticket still jump with joy. He does remember $15 a barrel oil, and $15 was worth probably about what it is now, $40-something at that time. Coffee futures that were down $28 on the Forex Gold Index, down $1.40 at $1,106.35. Dubai was up $3.10 at $1,109.90. Silver was down 14 cents for anyone that's interested at $14.58 there. And on the CBOT futures, corn is up $12.75. Oat futures down $2, and soybean futures were up $3.25. And the Euronet life futures there, cocoa was down $2. And we'll look at coffee here. It was down $14 there. I noticed coffee was down at the market. And the Bloomberg Commodity Index, we look at it now, 88.93, down 0.22. So that rounds out the week. The big, of course, obviously the big story was China, and where China's economy goes, so much of the world is going with it. And if we take a look here, China slowdown. BBC was the big item here. UK rates held in 8-1 vote. This is on the 10th. I guess we report this. We didn't see it. Bank of England was voted 8-1 to keep interest rates on hold at 0.5%. The bank also lowered its estimate for the UK economic growth in the third quarter this year from 0.7% to 0.6% there. And in summary, the committee said development since then had increased the risk to prospects in China as well as other emerging economies. In addition, global development did not yet appear sufficient to alter materially the central bank's outlook described in the August report, and the greater downside risk to global environment merits a close monitoring from the impact on domestic economic activity. It said the reason for reducing the UK growth rate, and no doubt the Labour Party will look at this, has been the latest run of poor manufacturing industrial figures. Despite this, remains optimistic about the economy. From the chief economist David Kern, he's at the British Chamber of Commerce, said although earnings are edging up gradually, labor costs are not rising at the pace that should cause concern. In the near future, inflation is also likely to remain below the 2% target until well in 2017. Cost pressure, the bank said, McCarthy along the loan 9 strong there has warned to increase the main rate by 0.25%. He believes the costs were likely to go up in the UK at least and lead to inflation overshooting the bank's targets. All members agreed that given the likely persistence of headwaters weighing on the economy, when the bank rate drop begins to rise, it's expected to do more gradual and a lower level thing. The same happened in the U.S. However, while most economists earlier this year had expected a rise in rates before 16, opinions seem to have shifted. Harry Archer, he's the chief UK and European economist at IHS Global, said an interest rate hike sometimes in the expected sometime in the first half of 2016. Looks a pretty sure bet, but currently seems very close call whether the Bank of England moves around February or holds firm till Q2. Therefore, we expect interest rates to rise gradually to 1.25% by the end of 16, 2% by the end of 17, and 2.5% by the end of 18. That in itself is not much of a quote-unquote what you call material rise in the British economy. That means things are very soft there, and much improvement needs to be done. This will do it for us. For those in business, next week a productive one for the consumer. Keep your eye on the prize, as consumers have, being less optimistic over the long haul and pessimistic there. And we ran over our time. We'll have to do some serious editing here. Good day.